Kings for Queens. I'm Counsel Strategy. This is JS. We are here once again to talk to you about the Counsel of Dating. JS almost died on a sesame seed, but he's alive. He made it. No hammock manure needed.
I made it out of that.
He made it out. Took a little sip of his, whatever the hell that is. It looks nice. Anyways.
Non-coffee drink.
Non-coffee drink. Okay. So anyways, as you know, we're doing the Counsel of Dating. Today's episode is Happy Single. We're going to ask some questions. We've done some research. So we will love your feedback. Please chime in. Write in the comments what you think the answers are to the questions. If you have a question of your own that you want to answer, feel free to write it right down in the comments. So, okay, a little windy now.
Yeah.
All right, so first question. Is it better to be single or in a relationship, and why is that important?
I mean, just speaking for me, you got different times in life, you know what I mean, where you're like, all right, I'd rather be single right now. But for me, I think you have people. You have the way people react in life. Me myself, I'm more of a relationship type person.
Yeah.
It's better for me to be in a relationship than to be single, or I get in trouble all the damn time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because regardless of the fact, once you single, once you start dating people, they start taking ownership of your ass. You know what I mean? But
start taking ownership.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I think it's better to be in a relationship.
Okay.
Just from me as a man.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the research aspect of this, which was quite interesting. The research and all this, and all the questions today was very interesting. So, according to research, they say 61% of women and 49% of men are happier when they're single. And all of the other research that I saw made it seem as if you're better off single, which we'll talk about more about later on as we answer these questions. But I don't necessarily agree with that, which is kind of interesting because I essentially am going against the grain on the research that I was looking at. So, this is how I feel about it. If you feel like you need to be by yourself, then you probably need to be by yourself. If you feel better alone than in a relationship, then you probably should not be in a relationship. When the research said this, I'll read a website. It said, when you are excited for your significant other to not be available, you probably want to be single. So that's just kind of a little tidbit of information. Question 2. All of the research states that singles are happier than married people in a committed relationship. Why is that?
Singles are happier, of course, because they don't have nobody to answer to. You know what I mean? You ain't got nobody nagging you about nothing. You know what I mean? You living your life on your own terms. You know what I mean?
Huh.
And hey, that is a good thing. So I can see how single people are happier than married people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, but I guess it's all about when you catch those married people in that different moods. But I can see why that is totally true. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we are. Have you ever heard? It's a little brother line. Say, I want a girl when I want a girl. When I don't want a girl, I want a girl that understands that, right? And a lot of people, when you're younger, a lot of people think like that. But being single is a happy thing, but being in a relationship can be happy also.
Okay. So the question, all of the research states that singles are happier than married people in a committed relationship, and why? My answer is, number one, first of all, I don't know. Doesn't really make sense to me, but that's just me, because this is the research. I have a theory, though, that is tied to money. Listen, hear me out, it's elaborate. When you have a married household, you have all the income coming to one place, you have one house, maybe 2 cars, maybe even more than that, but one house, two cars, and all the other bills, rent, utilities, it's all one. But if you separate those two, you now have two households, at least two cars, assuming that each person has a car, and two sets of utilities, bills, etc., so forth. Here's the thing that people haven't thought about for the past 25, 30 years. Income is not going up, but richness is. People are making records amounts of money. So that's my theory. Now, the other advantage now about being single is this. In today's day and age, you can get all of the advantages of being married as a single person, except for the tax exemption and protection, which I'll talk about in a second. So, sex, you want to shack up, you want to do all these other kind of things.
You could have stopped when you said two people have two separate incomes. You understand? The problem starts when they trying to put that shit together. You know what I mean? But everybody got their own money. But you said it right there.
Yeah, so that's the protection piece. So this is the big negative that gets overlooked. If you're single, guess what you're not? You're not in a commitment. And for a woman, this is what I've been told, women want safety and protection. You get neither as a single person when you are trying to date, etc., etc. Now, if you're by yourself, I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. So that's my answer. Number 3. Should I be single and satisfied?
I mean, as a woman, you can be single and satisfied. You know what I mean? You have, you have friends. You have people that you talk to. So yeah, you can be single and satisfied. Totally. I mean, but that's all about what you're looking for. And what makes you, what makes you tick, So, single and satisfied is all. It's possible. It's a lot of people. I mean, in this computer age that we living in, it's a lot of people out living single and satisfied.
So I look at this differently, and from here on out, I'm gonna have a lot of unpopular answers. Let's just go ahead and just let it sit that here. Now, I'm also gonna say that this is the men's talk show, geared towards and for the benefit of women. Although you might question that as I continue to answer these questions. So, should I be single and satisfied? If you want a relationship, how are you going to be satisfied? I think you can make the best out of a situation and your time until something better changes, but I wouldn't say being satisfied. And that's the thing, everybody's like single and satisfied. You got to be content with yourself, you got to be this with yourself, blah, blah, blah. But there's a longing for a relationship, so how are you even content? If you even go back to the Bible days when Adam had everything that he needed, and he didn't feel he wasn't content. I was like, I'm giving him the help me. Bam! And he has a woman. So I just don't, I'm not feeling all the single and satisfied garbage. I think it's BS. I think the best term is to be single and tolerant. Make the best of your situation. Optimize the situation. If you're in a war, it don't matter if you're getting 3 square meals a day, camaraderie, and you get to see the world, you're still in the war. So I don't look at being single and satisfied as a good thing unless you are truly a person that's not interested in a relationship. And that can change over time. That could be like, okay, right now I'm single and satisfied, it's great. But next week I want to be in a relationship, or 2 years down the road you're like, you know what, I want a companion. That is not a problem. But if you want a companion now, to be satisfied, I think that's an oxymoron. That's asinine. Be tolerant. Optimize situation. Find something better to do with your time so you can get ready for when you are in a possible relationship. You add to that relationship. So that would be my answer to that. And then question number 4. How can I be happy when I'm fighting loneliness and or depression?
You can't be. just said you just said it. But no, man, it's ways. I mean, like you said, loneliness and depression.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard, but I mean, you can have. There's different things that you can do. You know what I mean? You have to put yourself out there, join different groups or whatever of stuff that you're into. You can, meet new people, meet friends. You know what I mean? If you are depressed like that, because friends can talk you through it, so you don't be alone. But that is, that is one of the ways you can do it. That's kind of hard. You fight depression. You might want to go talk to somebody. That's the tip.
So this question kind of leads into the other question, the question that we just answered. How can I be happy when I'm fighting loneliness and depression? Part of being single is dealing with possibility of loneliness and depression. Those only come into play if you want to be in a relationship. And it does not necessarily have to be a romantic one. It can be a friendship. So when you're feeling lonely and you're single, who are your friends? Do you have friends that you can confide in? You want to go ahead and do that. So basically, in this kind of situation, when you're dealing with loneliness and depression, you have to look at what life has currently given you. You have been given lemons. So how can you turn that into something useful? Do you have alcohol? Splice the lemons up. Bam! Now you have a drink. Maybe you can work on inner self, reading. Maybe there's a hobby or something you want to take on. Do something different. What about you want to do that business? As a single person, you do have more time to do certain things that you would not have time to do if you're in a relationship. So take advantage of that, as compared to sitting around being all sad and mopey. But if you do get to that point, seek some sort of help. Don't just sit on that, because the longer you stay in that loneliness space or that depression space, you do less and you start making real bad decisions. I know every time I get lonely, I make some of the worst decisions in the history of life. I wake up next to somebody, I'm like, what the hell was I doing? I'll take a trip somewhere, I'll spend some money I shouldn't be spending, and then I realize, I'm lonely or depressed, and that's just not a good thing. But when I've handled it differently, looked at the situation and optimize it, get a friend involved and tell them how I'm feeling, which, to be quite honest with you, can be hard to do because people like to talk. I've always made better decisions and got out of it much quicker than if I just sat on it and just act like it wasn't happening. Be honest with yourself on the inside, and that's how you handle the situation best. All right. So, do you understand the next part? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Okay, so since we're talking about singleness, we decided to kind of play a little game called You Are Single When. So my first example, we'll just go back and forth. When you're a single when you catch yourself talking to yourself or singing a song or daydreaming and you're talking out loud in the middle of a bunch of people. Like it just happened to me. I was in the grocery store and I was in the coffee aisle. I was looking at some those Velveeta things or whatever. And I started thinking I was in this rap concert and I'm like going ham, and I look up I'm in the grocery. I'm in Kroger's, so
I feel like I know that.
I've done that party. I do it way more than I should. So,
you're single when when you're drinking alone and downloading dating apps.
When you're drinking.
You know what I mean? You're supposed to be doing that. You know what I mean? When you're single.
Man, anytime you're drinking alone, you are single. That is the truth.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. You are single when it's time to pay the bills. Man, it's like I only make this much and my bill's this much. It's a reality check very quickly, literally check when that bill comes in the mail talking about you owe us. Like, damn it.
You know you're single when your ass is sick and you look next to you and ain't nobody there to rub your damn back. You're like, damn, this shit is so whack. This shit is so whack. You know, you need that. You know, you need that. That's one of the perks of being in a relationship.
You know you're single when you tell somebody you're single and they look at you like, what's wrong with you? Like, damn, why you gotta remind me I'm single? Damn, I already know this, my brother. Why you gotta bring that up? And why you trying to hook me up with your friend? No, I'm not interested. She is not attractive to me. And you know, I have a few female friends, and they're like, I got the perfect person for you. And then they bring somebody along. I'm like, you really thought I would go for this? She's got a good heart. No. I mean, that's important, but man, I be looking like, you really think I'm an ugly person, don't you? I mean, this is what you, okay.
But you know you're single, man. You look at your kids and you're like, so hey, so what are y'all doing today?
Your kids become your entertainment.
Yeah. What are y'all doing tonight?
I'm being a good parent.
What are y'all doing tonight?
You know, you're not. You're just lonely.
Want to chill with your dad tonight?
Oh man, it's hilarious.
Play some video games? I'm down. Nah, Dad, I'm good.
Hey man, I've been practicing that new Halo. That they don't do Halo no more.
The kids say, I'm good. We got something to do, Dad. Oh, okay. Guess I'll just chill here. Hey, we going on to Dear JS.
Dear JS.
This is rapid fire today. So I'm gonna spit them out, and we're gonna spit them back at you.
All right.
One. Am I self-centered for wanting to stay single?
No. The world always wants you to feel guilty, and doesn't mean you're self-centered. Now you could be, but probably not.
I say no. Not at all. Should women date more than one person?
Yes. I hate to say that. But if that's what the men are doing, and that's what they're trained to do, and that's what they've been told to do, and all the research says that's how you get it done, then you should be doing the same until you and said person come to some kind of an exclusive agreement.
Yeah. If you're dating me, no. But if it's other brothers, yeah, it's fine. You know, that might help it out. You know what I mean? That might help it out a lot. You know.
That's a good one because when I get in that situation, I'm like, okay, look, either we're gonna do this or we're not. I don't mess around with all that.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, this is the day we live. I've been told getting a pet will help curb loneliness. Is that true?
I am not a pet person or a pet owner. I've been told that it does help. To me, a pet is a baby that never grows up, and I just think it looks stupid that you're walking behind this little dog, whatever, you're picking up poop. I just never thought how that is so fun. I'm not interested.
I feel like that'll make me more depressed. If I look over and all I see is this little damn dog, I'll be like, damn, my life sucks.
You don't want me to become the cat lady.
Yeah,
I got 5 cats. Why?
Yeah, but I'm not a pet person. You know what I mean? I don't have to have pets. So you know how that goes. What gets on men's nerves about women? How long is this show, brother?
It's only 30 minutes or close.
Go ahead.
He's trying to get some love. Anyways, I hate being ignored. So, and women do that way too well. Women have the ability to ignore. They call it curbing. I call it curving. I don't care what it's called, but they be doing it and they be doing it well. They be making me go ham in my mind, but then I gotta control it because I don't want you to know that you got me on tilt. If I'm feeling some sort of way, I'm just like,
I would say,
drives me nuts.
the fact that they lie but act like they don't tell lies. I don't think they apply it in the category of lies. I didn't mean it like that. What you maybe thought that? No, you fucking lied. You know what I mean? No, I may have just withheld it from you. You fucking lied. You know what I mean? But if we're dealing with a man, it's just like, no, you lied. You lied straight out. You lied. But women, they're like, no, I just didn't feel like you needed to know at that time. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You know what I mean? We can work on that. You know what I mean? What's the one thing that can kill a relationship?
Lack of communication. Simple. Other one is trust. Those are the two big ones.
I would say insecurity.
Insecurity is definitely a killer.
I'll say insecurity.
Although there are plenty of people in relationships for years and they're both insecure. I don't know how they do it. I can't.
True. Should I date a man who is separated?
A man who is separated is a guaranteed cheater. So if that's what you want, right ahead. I mean, you have guaranteed evidence this dude is cheating.
Yeah. Why not?
Did you just say what? Yeah?
Yeah, why not? Because guess what? I dated women that were separated. You understand? So, same way. You know what I mean? So
I have dated a couple ladies who were separated and it didn't go well.
Yeah, I mean, they trying to get out of their relationship, their current situation. And yeah, sometimes you stick with it. It could work out for the better. You know what I mean? So,
I don't believe that, but we can be different on that. It ain't gonna be for the better. Someone getting hurt, someone's hurt, someone's gonna get hurt. It's not good.
I've had positive experiences with it, so.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Did you? Okay. I'll leave that alone.
And I've also been that separated person. You know what I mean? You know, I don't think you're supposed to just stay your ass in the house until you get a divorce. You know what I mean? So you got to, you know, or you're going to be that depressed, lonely person. So,
well, so here's the thing, though, because, you know, and I'm not saying this is you, my brother, but, you know, when I dated a couple separated ladies, what happened is, you'd be like, you know what, you're great, but I decided to work it back out with my...
Well, I also, if the dude is living in the house, no, I'm not. You know what I mean? They got to be broke off. Like,
that's another situation that's happening a lot now.
Yeah.
You cohabitate, you broke it off, but you still have so in the house.
He got his room in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but hey, it works for some people. Ain't not. All right. What's an underrated sex trick?
I don't believe in tricks. Oral skills, though, are very underrated.
I say, what the fuck is a trick? Come on, man. It's like either you doing what you do, or you not doing that shit.
I'll tell you what.
Ain't no tricks.
Make this your trick. Be passionate. Be intentional. Bam. There you go. You do that. Whatever you're doing, it's gonna be great.
Act like you love what you're doing. If you act like you love what you're doing, sure love. You know? Why do men love crazy women?
I don't, but we do love passion. So craziness and passion have a very thin line. I mean, it is paper thin. It's, you know, one side is craziness, and the other side is passion. So sometimes they merge, and if you're dealing with play, sometimes they kind of intermingle. So a person wants someone that's very passionate to a point where they're close to being crazy, but not crazy. And then some people have had so many bad experiences that are like, you know what, at least she does all this other stuff, so I'll just deal with the craziness.
All right. I would say this question should be, why do men love women?
No.
Because they are crazy.
No, I am not saying that. No. I have met plenty of women who are not crazy.
Listen.
I mean, maybe a little off, but no,
you don't have to call yourself crazy. Look, I said, look, we are men and women. We are all damn crazy under the different circumstances. So
That's a nice saying.
Yeah,
You said men and women.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We both you put us in. We are all damn crazy. You put us in that right situation. So you say, why do we love crazy women? No, I mean,
Wow.
people. I remember back then people say you seem to attract crazy women. No, I don't attract crazy women. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's attract different women. You know what I mean? And they just happen to be crazy. But who hasn't been crazy? Have you? Sure.
I've met a lot.
I'm sure.
I've met women who are not.
Well, you in a relationship?
I'm single right now.
All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Is there ever a good time to be someone's rebound?
Sure, if you want crazy sex, but that's the only reason. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be with that person long. They need to use you to get out of their past relationship. It's not a good thing. You're being used. I've been a rebound. Someone was a rebound for me. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's a level of a process that happens. The first person you get with after a long, arduous relationship or marriage is the rebound. And that's 99% of the time, never the person you end up with. And it's usually sort of lived.
Is there a good time to be someone's rebound? Yes. All the time. All the time. You're looking for a good time. Long term in a relationship, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with being somebody rebound. You just gotta know what you're getting into. Don't take it too serious. Take it too serious. Why are transgender men getting into women's sports?
I don't get it. And I know we live in the LBGQT. I probably gave the letters wrong.
Yeah, I think you missed
society. And that's not a bad thing. But here's the deal. There's all this yes, yes, yes. There has to be some understanding and a standard. Sorry. If you are transgender, you cannot be in a sport with women. You can't. Only women who are born women should be in that sport. Not a transgendered man. And I've seen the writing on the wall. Transgendered women are women. So I'm saying transgender men. I mean transgender women. So transgendered women are transgendered women. They're not women. Sorry. I know that's unpopular, but it's disrespectful to say, okay, someone who was born a woman is the exact same as someone who was chemically and medically transformed into.
Come on, man. You don't even gotta try to be politically correct. That shit. Are you fucking kidding me? You are a man trying to run against women. You still got the same fucking muscles. And like, stop that shit. You can't do that.
A lot of times in those situations, they keep the
I know everybody
testicles.
want to be politically correct and shit. No, you cannot do it. Some shit you just can't do, yo. You can't do that. You know what I mean? No.
I mean,
that shit is no.
Do what you want to do. It's between you and God.
Yeah.
That being said, sorry, you can't be in the sport because you used to be a man, you have testicles. There is a physical difference between men and women, whether you feel like you're a woman on the inside or not. If you have all the tools to say otherwise, that's who you are.
Yeah, all right. Why is it easier to find someone long distance and not locally?
That is a myth. Here's the thing. So, why does it seem like that? Because the person's way out yonder, so there's no threat of sex. The person has to be more creative because they can't see you. So therefore, there is more effort in long distance relationships because there has to be for it to actually work. So there's a lot more effort that's involved. But the reality of this situation is, if that same person was local, it wouldn't be as serious, which is kind of sad. You should put the same kind of effort in the local relationships as you do in the long distance ones.
I would say dealing with internet dating for years, you know what I mean? especially in a place like Atlanta. It was, it's been times where you're like, dang, I need a quality woman. I'm talking about 10, 15 years. But a lot of times you connect with people long distance. You know what I mean? You connect with them because y'all two opposites. She in a different place that you are in, and it might seem interesting to you, just like she might seem, vice versa. But I wouldn't say it's easier, but I think sometimes it's more exciting.
Okay.
It's more exciting.
I hear that.
Yeah. It's more exciting. Okay. Would you rather be single or in a relationship?
I am 100,000% a relationship person. That being said, I've only been in 2 relationships since 2010. So, something ain't doing right. I would rather be in a relationship than be single.
Tissues can be grouped into 4 broad categories. Muscle tissues, nerve
I don't like
epithelial tissue.
being around. You know what I mean? I like it just being with some one person.
I think I said it last week. You don't want to be Kumo D in the club trying to talk to young biddies with your dance moves from 1995. I mean, eventually, as you get older, you want to. I mean, you don't have to be, but if you're interested in somebody, you want to be in a relationship. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't understand the Kumo D reference, but
Kumo D is old.
Yeah, but or shit, go to the club and just don't dance like my ass. You just,
Yeah, but
chill.
I mean, you're not no spring chicken, my brother.
But still, when you think of Kumo D, the only thing I think about is the glasses and shit, and like a leather outfit.
And
you know what I mean?
he took on LL Cool J, which, you can actually say LL Cool J now, so people may not know what you're talking about. That's how long ago LL Cool J was relevant. I mean, he's got his little show.
Kumo D has some hits, just like LL.
He had 2 hits.
Kumo D.
He had 2. How You Like Me Now, and I don't know what the other one is.
You probably say Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West, that would be the 2.
He also had, you ever heard Go See the Doctor? This was back when I was in 9th grade. That shit was kind of hot.
I didn't hear it, so it must not have been good.
No, he had a lot of songs. He had a couple out. He had what was that one? Teddy Riley did. All right.
Okay, so we'll talk about that another time. So we'll do a Kumo D episode. But anyways, that's our show today. Thank you. This is Kings for Queens, the men's talk show geared towards and for the benefit of women. You may question that after some answers we said today, but that's perfectly fine. Understanding.
It's all love.
Let us know what you think or what you feel about what we said. We will look at the information. We are very much appreciative of the people that are watching our show. Thank you very much. This is JS. I am Comic Strategy. Next week, we're going to have a guest host. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to take a break from the courtship of dating and then come back to it a little later. We're going to do something called Superheroes. Women are better at career. Explain what that means next week.
Oh, and Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to the fathers, to the mothers out there who are doing the father's work. I am praying for you. You have a seriously difficult job and you're handling it. God bless you.
Are they doing a father's work or are they just doing a real good job as a mom?
If dad ain't there,
because
you
can't
replace the father. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
What I am saying is they have to. They're trying to do something to make up as best as they can.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with that, but we need fathers out there.
This is true. Comic Strategy, JS, Kings for Queens, out. Yeah.